And what a great run that was! Thank you so much to Jaya and their commentator Hevorius. Again, if you would like to see more Monkey Island, join us on day 2 for the Curse of Monkey Island. But coming up next, we will have Kirby's Dream Land with IllegallySam. That will be in just a bit here. We need to get the next round set up. As a reminder, we are Speedromizer 4. We are raising money for QMUNITY. And again, you can type !donate in chat at any time during the marathon to get the direct donation link to our Tiltify. A little bit about QMUNITY. They were built by and for queer, trans, and two-spirit communities since 1979. Today, their leadership continues to create and build an organization that supports everyone with two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersexual, and asexual communities across British Columbia through support, connection, and leadership. QMUNITY is a province-wide resource center that delivers programs and services to anyone in their community in need of support and connection, regardless of age, location, and circumstance. The organization is there to ensure queer, trans, and two-spirit people can find low-barrier access to mental health resources, peer support, information, referrals, and more. We still have 2 donation polls open right now at our Tiltify page. We have the file name for Peggle Deluxe with Jerry in the lead, and Resident Evil 3 Choose the Outfit with Disco in the lead. You can vote for your favorite option when you donate to our campaign, so when you click your donation, be sure to add your poll as well. We have also already reached our donation target, which was the Curse of Monkey Island Sing the Pirate Cruise song. That was for 150 Canadian dollars. We blew that out of the water, so tomorrow with that Monkey Island run, you might hear a little Pirate Cruise song when you're there, so stay tuned for that. Coming up later in the day, after Kirby's Dream Land, we will have Level Head, which I will actually be running. After that, we have Primal Light, and later on, Disney Infinity 1.0 The Incredibles. And the last run of the night will be Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards. So we got 5 more runs left in the night, but already doing an amazing job with our donations for QMUNITY. We have 328 Canadian dollars. And with that, we're going to have a short word from our sponsor here.
Speedromizer now has a shop that is open all year round. Everything from shirts and hats to novelty items including mugs, stickers, bags, coasters, and even pillows. All of the designs you have come to know over the past 4 events. 20% of every item sold will be paid directly to Speedromizer and QMUNITY. Get your hands on some fresh Speedromizer branded merchandise at speedromizer.live/merch.
Thank you, George. And with that, we're going to go back to the break here for just a little bit longer while our next runner gets set up. This is a good time to take a stretch break, grab some food, some water, really take care of anything you need to, and we'll be back in just a bit. Alright, it looks like our next run is ready. We have IllegallySam with Kirby's Dreamland. Take it away.
Alright, hello there everybody, I am IllegallySam, and like you just heard, I'm going to be playing some Kirby's Dreamland here today. You know, I actually never played this Kirby game before rolling it for this marathon, funny enough, even though I'm a big Kirby fan. You know, I've got my audience here to watch with me, and everything. I had to break out the Kirby plushes when I'm doing a Kirby run, but yeah, this is the first Kirby game, the one released on the Game Boy all the way back 30 years ago. And so it's going to look a little different if you have played a more recent Kirby game. But, yeah, if anybody's curious, I am playing this on Nintendo Switch, because that was the easiest way for me to play this. I am not playing on an original Game Boy, unfortunately. But I think with that, with the little preamble, we can just go ahead and get started. So time will start when I move past this title screen, so I'll just go ahead and give a countdown. So 3, 2, 1, let's get started. Alright, so like I said, this is the first ever Kirby game. If you are familiar with Kirby at all, you'll know that Kirby has the ability to suck up objects, the ability to spit out objects, and, you know, you can even absorb the enemies and get copy abilities. But this is the first Kirby game, so we don't have all three of those things. We can just suck things up and spit them back out. We don't actually have any copy abilities in this game, so it's a reasonable amount simpler than, you know, modern Kirby, but that doesn't make it any less fun of a game. Alright, this here is the got good RNG. That was Poppy Bros Sr. He can do one of two things. He can either throw 3 bombs at you in a row, or he can throw 2 bombs at you and, you know, just jump around after that second bomb, and you just have to wait until he starts throwing his 3rd bomb. Because that's basically the main gist of combat in this game, is because we don't have copy abilities, we have to wait for the enemies to attack us, suck up whatever the object they decide to use to attack us is, and spit it back out at them. So, basically every single boss fight in this game is very RNG based as a result. But this here is Wispy Woods, everybody's favorite tree with a face. In true Wispy Woods fashion, he is the first boss of a Kirby game. He has 2 attacks. He can either spit out gusts of wind like that, or drop 3 apples on our heads. We want him to drop apples, because 6 apples later, and the fight is over. And that, just like that, we're done with the first level. There is 5 levels in this run. It's a very short game, because, you know, it's a Game Boy game from 1992. Those games weren't exactly known for being long back then. But, yeah. We are moving on to the second world here. This world is Castle Lololo. There's a lot of rooms in this castle. This is the best room, though. You just hold right, and absolutely nothing happens. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of rooms, and this room here is the mini-boss fight, where we just face off against Lololo. He has 3 health, and he pushes out these blocks that we have to suck up and spit back out at him. Alright. And keep going here. Yeah, a lot of the other levels in this game have a lot of, like, very big open-ended rooms and stuff. Here it's all about knowing which doors to go in, and just getting to them as fast as possible. Because the layout's the same every time, so you just gotta know where to go, and you can make it through. But here is the last room. We can get to the boss fight with Lololo and Lalala. Now we have 2 guys, or a guy and a girl, I should say, pushing blocks at us, and, you know, we just gotta grab those blocks and spit them back out at them. It's a very simple fight, but it is easy to lose time here if you aren't careful. Because if you miss a block cycle, you just have to wait for them to pop back out. But thankfully, we did not miss any cycles there. And you can damage boost depending on where they come out. Like, if they come out on the top 2 or the bottom 2 rows, you're able to hit both of them in one cycle. But obviously where they come out is RNG. And if you were to get there with not a lot of health, you can't really damage boost either. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but this is a Game Boy game, and though, you know, Game Boy games, very simple, the Game Boy is not powerful hardware either, so you will be seeing a decent amount of lag as, you know, the game struggles to handle multiple enemies on the screen at once if they're doing anything other than moving around. So anytime there's an enemy that shoots out a beam, the game is probably going to start lagging. So yeah, we just gotta kind of deal with that. Something else to note. If you free fall for long enough, you will start to, like, go into a little fall animation. If you hit an enemy while you're in that fall animation, you will damage the enemy and not take damage yourself, which is very useful in very specific places. It is not something that comes up very often because it's faster to just not hit the enemy in the first place, but there are times where it is ideal to do that. Alright. As we make it through this ship area here. Alright, I have 3 health, that should be enough. Alright, we grab this warp star here and we can make our way to the 3rd boss. This boss is Kabula. Kabula, if you played Superstar Ultra, it looks a little different in this game. She does not have a face, she is just a normal blimp. But yeah, Kabula is the third boss here. We go over here, grab this little fruit thing, and we take off to the skies and just spit puffs of air as we try to take out this blimp. This is like the one boss fight where RNG doesn't really make a huge difference as far as time goes, because you just... If you have more than like two or so health, you can just damage tank the whole thing and not actually have to worry about dodging, which is very nice. Also, you might not notice because it's very, very brief, but at the beginning of every stage there is a little cutscene that I'm skipping by pressing start. You know, very minor time save, but, you know, it's a thing that you might not notice if I didn't call it out, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned it. Alright, and then here at the end of this room, the first half of this room is really tricky to dodge all those enemies, but here you can literally just hold right and you can dodge everything in the second half, which is very nice. Yeah, this is, in my opinion, the hardest level in the run. We got some chunky lag. That's why I try and kill that second Waddle Doo as fast as physically possible, so there's as little lag as possible. Also, something else you might notice is I'm trying to float with Kirby as little as possible, because you move slightly faster when you're not puffed up like that versus when you are. And so if there's any point in time where I don't need to be actively floating up, I will, you know, spit out my little gust of air and try to just walk normally. But there's definitely a decent number of spots where I play it safe and just float anyway. Alright, this is Kracko Jr., the mini-boss of this 4th stage. Kracko Jr., very easy. You wait for him to spit out a Waddle Doo, spit it back out at him, and then go stand on the left side of the screen. Because he cannot hit you if you're on the left side of the screen. Thankfully, the mini-boss fights in this game are very simple. I cannot say the same about some of the boss fights, unfortunately. But that's the fun of it. Alright, here we're going to grab another fruit that makes us fly and spit out infinite puffs of air. Alright, and thankfully there is some health in this area here in case I take too much damage. I can pick up one of those drinks to restore 2 pieces of health, or there's also a maximum tomato over there if I was really low on health, and that would put me back at full, but I should be okay with 4. Alright, and then this is the super spicy curry, the only time you're going to see me pick it up on the run. You just hold the attack button and just constantly shoot out projectiles. This is in Smash. It's that item that like makes you constantly spit out fire in front of you, if you remember that. That is the super spicy curry from this game. But now that we've destroyed all those blocks... Ooh, okay, going in with 3 health. Okay, this is Kracko. My least favorite boss fight in the game. Because I mentioned before how there's a lot of RNG because you just kind of have to wait for the bosses to do the right attacks in order for you to hit them. Yeah, Kracko has like 4 things he can do, one of which is spitting out a Waddle Doo that you can use to attack him. Every other attack, you can't do anything, you just have to dodge. Because he has his beam attack, he can swoop down at you, and he can also mosey on over from side to side at the top. So we just kind of have to sit here, hope he spits out enough Waddle Doos, and since I went in with 3 health, be a little careful and to not get hit too much. Because if he swoops right after spitting out a Waddle Doo, it's very easy to get hit. But it is possible to still dodge it, it's just a little tricky. But this fight, not too bad, actually. Alright. And that is Kracko. That, like I said, that actually went pretty well. I only got hit once. RNG wasn't too bad. But this is already the last stage of the run. This is Mount Dedede. However, this is also the longest stage in the run, because if you liked those 4 bosses we just fought, let's do it again. Yeah, the gimmick of this stage is there's a little remixed room from one of the previous stages that you go through, grab this little Kirby dude at the end to get rid of the Gordo in front of the door, and then you just refight the boss. So we're going to be refighting all 4 of the bosses from earlier. So if Kracko and his RNG wasn't bad enough, we get to do it twice. And here we just grab these blocks and spin them back out in Lo-Lo-Lo and La-La-La. And hope I don't miss a cycle. Okay. Nice and easy. I will say, it is very, very easy to mess up in this stage and cause problems for yourself later, because there's like no health items in this entire stage, so you have to beat all 4 of the bosses and then go fight King Dedede, all without healing any health unless you were to take a death. So there is a very decent chance that I might need to take a death when I get to Dedede just to get back up to full health. But I'm going to try not to do that if I can. Yeah, because the game gives you 4 lives right out the gate. There's a few extras scattered throughout the levels, but ideally I don't actually need to pick up any lives because I'm not dying. But yeah, dying will put you back at full health. So if I ever take too much damage, it is faster for me to just take a death at the start of a room, rather than trying to get through the room and taking damage halfway through and losing even more time. But ideally, I just don't take the damage in the first place. Alright, this Krakow is actually really nice, especially at the end there. Alright, let's go fight Wispy Woods again. Alright, back to Green Greens. It's like one of the Kirby songs. Alright, but thankfully this is... Since all these rooms are very short, you don't actually get to see too much platforming in this one. It's mostly just the boss fights, but this is, you know, easiest boss fight in the game. You just wait for him to drop the apples and hope he does it quickly. Because it is possible to get a Wispy Woods fight where he just drops 6 apples and doesn't ever shoot out any puffs of wind, but usually... Oops. I didn't mean to do that. I pressed up by accident. Cool. Now I gotta wait an extra cycle. Oh well. Now we get to hear this music for extra long. Okay. I'm more annoyed about taking the damage there rather than losing the time, to be honest, but that's fine. Alright, Kabula round 2. But first we gotta get through this stage. Ooh, that was not damage I meant to take. Okay, that's not great. Alright, Dedede with 3 health is definitely... Okay, Dedede with 2 health, I am not confident about. So, odds are I'll probably take damage during the Kabula fight anyway, so let's see what happens. Hopefully I don't die, because if you do die during one of these boss fights, you have to redo the entire platforming stage beforehand as well. Alright, that went well though. No damage. Alright, I'm doing pretty well so far, so I'm not gonna tank a death on purpose, I'm just gonna go into the DD fight and see what happens. Alright, so DDD is Krakow 2.0 in terms of RNG, but slightly better. Because even though he has way more health, he has 4 attacks, 2 of which drop stars that you can suck up and spit back at him. He has this hammer attack where he charges with you with his hammer and tries to hit you, that drops a star. He has this jump attack where he tries to slam down on your head, that also drops stars. He has that attack where he charges towards you and slides on the ground. That doesn't drop any stars, and he charges towards you and tries to inhale you. That also doesn't drop stars. So we want hammer attacks and jumps. And he has a lot of health, so we just gotta keep dodging until he does enough attacks that we can kill him. And time will be on the last hit on Dedede. So assuming I don't die here, which... the fact that I just took damage is not a good sign. I have 1 health, he has 3. Let's do this. Down to the wire. Right, a lot of his attacks do target where you're standing, so you definitely want to be close to him so that he doesn't have to move too far, but not so close that you get hit. Okay. And... time. That was actually a really clean run, I'm surprised. I was doing some practice runs yesterday and today, and I died at least once in all of them, so I'm surprised I got through that with... without any deaths. So yeah, that went really well, actually.
Your final time was 13:37.
That
really,
is
really
less
good.
than a minute off my PB. My PB I got last week was a 12:39. So that's really good, actually. For me, at least.
That was such a fun and cute run to watch. Any shoutouts you'd like to give?
I mean, if anybody wants to watch me do runs that probably won't be Kirby, but who knows, maybe Kirby. Maybe I'll learn another Kirby game or something in the future. You know, just head on over to my Twitch page, twitch.tv/IllegallySam. Like I said, I'm playing this game on Switch Online, so if you have a hankering for some old school Kirby, and you go ahead and download the Game Boy app, and you can just go ahead and play it. Or any of the modern Kirby games, I would also recommend them. I like Kirby, so... But that's pretty much what I got. We're It's just sitting through the credits here.
Sounds good. In that case, we will head over to a short break while we get the next game set up. But don't go anywhere because you may see some familiar faces.